What is the best way to sell a product? Through recommendations from friends. And this principle is what made Avon famous all over the globe. Avon has more than 6 million independent representatives in more than 120 countries. Direct sales are Avon's brand identity. However, today the company is having a rough time. In 2021, the company earned only $3 billion in revenue, compared to the $9 billion it earned in 2011. The beauty brand has a century-long history that resembles a Hollywood movie with its ups and downs. Despite the fact that the company was founded by a man, it was a woman who developed its business, and its critics say it was also a woman who ruined it. But first things first. Career start. David McConnell, the son of Irish immigrants, was born in 1855 in New York State. David lived on a farm, but he didn't like the country life. He was a curious child, and the bustling life of the city attracted the future perfumer. As a grown-up, he followed his dream and moved to the city, where he graduated from a university and got a job as a mathematics teacher. However, school teachers earned little at the time. Searching for additional income, he discovered a little-known book publisher where he got a job as a salesman, a traveling sales agent. The sales were far from great, but the income was still higher than that of a math teacher. So he gave up his school career. In 1878, David moved to Chicago. He devoted all of his time to the publisher. McConnell was one of their most successful sales agents, but he didn't relax. Indeed, the only thing his income depended on now was how many books he could sell, so his earnings had no ceiling limit. Most of David's clients were women, because the publisher he worked for primarily published women's novels. He came up with the idea to give small bottles of perfume together with the books he sold. After a while, he noticed that women were more interested in the perfume than in the books. Then he tried selling perfume separately and succeeded. His income increased, his sales grew, and he quit the book business. Jobs for women. So in 1886, David registered a small perfume company in New York, California Perfume Company. The company entered the market with 5 fragrances: violet, lily of the valley, white rose, hyacinth, and heliotrope. To sell his perfumes, he decided to use the same system he used to sell books: sales agents. But the structure he built in the company was unique for that time. He got help from California Perfume's first employee, Mrs. Persis Foster Ames Albee. It was she who decided that the best distribution method would be a network of agents consisting of ordinary women who would sell products to other women just like themselves. This direct sales model had a number of advantages. First, women knew the ropes of perfumery. They understood each other's needs, so they would always find common ground. Second, at the time, discrimination was still strong in the U.S. Women couldn't vote and could hardly find a job. 80% of women either didn't work at all or were employed in the household and agricultural duties. There were few women who started their own businesses. It wasn't just a job that McConnell gave to women. He literally made their dreams come true. The girls who became the perfume company's sales agents were considered business ladies. Their motto was, "No one can fire me. I'm my own boss," which meant a lot for women of that time. California Perfume attracted sales agents in huge numbers. Anyone who wanted, provided it was a woman, could join the company as a sales agent, and their earnings depended only on the quantity of products they sold. The main condition was that the agent should work in the area where people knew and trusted her, that is, within her neighborhood. From then on, Avon was on everyone's lips because more and more women were employed, and moreover, they were self-employed. This was a revolutionary trend for the time. The company's customers often became its sales agents. The success of California Perfume was astonishing. Soon, numerous retail chains and small store companies asked the company to agree on purchasing the products wholesale, but their offers were rejected. The company's concept was direct sales, and the product could only be bought from sales agents. By the end of the 19th century, California Perfume employed as many as about 5,000 of them. Emergence of Avon. In 1937, David McConnell passed away, and his son David McConnell Jr. took over the company. The first thing he did was to rename the company. As a tribute to his father, he named it Avon. David Sr. was fond of the works of William Shakespeare. Once he visited Stratford-on-Avon, where the great English playwright was born. David was greatly impressed by the town and in particular by the river called Avon, following next to it. Besides, the name California Perfume was no longer relevant because the company operated outside of California as well. In the 1950s, Avon established a special international department to represent the company outside the U.S. And in 1954, the company was first advertised on TV. Its ad was more than successful. Its slogan, "Ding Dong, Avon Calls," was running over and over again in viewers' heads for years to come. By the mid-60s, the company was operating in Italy, Spain, Germany, and France. European women were happy to become sales agents with Avon. Crisis and trials. However, in the 1970s, the company went through a crisis. The number of sales agents grew, but they were less effective than before. They just couldn't find any new customers. Sales plummeted, and the company management decided to invest in other areas. It was the medical segment that especially attracted their attention. Later, Avon stocks would fall from $140 to $20. The company would recover in the 90s by giving up distractions and focusing only on perfumes and restore the direct sales concept. In 1999, Avon was headed by Andrea Jung, a current member of Apple's board of directors. Being one of the 30 most powerful women in the United States, Jung had nothing to do with the real Avon ladies. According to her former colleagues, Jung was running an imaginary company. Trying to convince the world that Avon was a glamorous and premium company, she forgot that her customers generally couldn't afford to pay more than $35 for a beauty product. But it was thanks to her that the Chinese officials legalized direct sales in 2006. Avon became the first company to get a license for this activity. The board of directors celebrated. The billion-strong market meant huge profits. However, a few years later, a scandal rose, as it became known that the company got its license for a reason. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission sued the company. During trials at the Manhattan Federal Court, Avon's general counsel, Jeff Benjamin, admitted that from 2004 to 2008, Avon China executives and employees gave gifts to Chinese government officials and were inaccurate when reporting expenses. Quote, "In this respect, Avon China's actions were improper and violated its own policies and those of Avon Products Inc." Unquote, Benjamin said. According to the SEC complaint, Avon was paying Chinese officials who could help it get a direct sales license, avoid fines, and hide negative news in the state media. The SEC claimed Avon made 9,600 payments to officials, totaling $1.5 million. As a result, Avon agreed to pay $135 million to settle civil and criminal charges. New technologies. Avon is criticized for its blatant aversion to the internet. The company launched its website as early as 1995, but never developed e-commerce. The company didn't understand why a customer would need an agent if they could order everything online. Of course, today, customers can order products from the website, but it will be an agent, not a courier, who will bring the order. However, the agents complain that the company left them to master the new functions on their own. While it's very difficult to puzzle out the site's endless pages with a lot of information without a helping hand. Up until 2014, Avon's head office didn't actually interact with its divisions in South Africa. However, it was in this region that companies operating in the direct sales segment grew especially fast. The first special marketing offers for Latin American representatives were made too late. Competitors were already dominating the market. Conclusion. Of course, the company is having a tough time, but it hasn't given up, and it's quite competitive. In 2021, the Cosmetify platform published an international rating of the most influential beauty brands in the world. Avon was ranked among the top 5, ranking number 4.
Hello, dear viewer. Do you recognize me? It's me, Thomas Edison. What do you think about the Avon company? Do you think Avon's marketing strategy was genius for its time? Also, share your opinion in the comments about the video in general. That way, you can help improve the quality of the content on this channel. By the way, I'm here because the next video will be about me and my company, General Electric. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.